Spring is here, and the deals are hotter than ever at Shack Shop. Turn heads with stunning bikinis, now on sale. Explore the deep with cutting-edge underwater drones. Gear up for adventure with durable tents for every trip. Ride into spring with unbeatable deals on bikes. Fresh styles, women's fashion, and must-have looks, all discounted. Don't miss the Shack Shop Spring Fling Sale. These prices won't last. Shop now and make this spring unforgettable, only at Shack Shop.
Rapinoe and Sue Bird end their relationship after nearly a decade together. The world of professional sports has long admired the relationship between soccer icon Rapinoe and basketball legend Sue Bird. For years, the pair represented more than athletic greatness. They became symbols of love, visibility, and mutual support in women's sports. Now, after nearly 10 years together and almost 6 years after announcing their engagement, the celebrated couple has officially shared that they are going their separate ways. Fans around the world were surprised when Rapinoe and Bird revealed that they had decided to end their relationship. The announcement came in a heartfelt message that emphasized compassion, respect, and gratitude. Rather than focusing on heartbreak or drama, both athletes made it clear that their split was a thoughtful decision reached together. Their relationship had become one of the most recognizable partnerships in sports. Both women were champions in their respective fields, and together they created a public image that inspired millions. Over the years, they stood beside each other through championship victories, Olympic moments, social activism, and major life transitions. A love story that captured attention. Rapinoe and Bird first crossed paths during the 2016 Summer Olympics in Rio de Janeiro. At the time, Bird was leading Team USA in basketball, while Rapinoe was representing the United States in women's soccer. Though both were already stars, their personal connection quickly became something special. In the years that followed, their romance became public, and many people viewed them as one of the most influential couples in modern athletics. Their relationship was admired because it felt genuine. They were often seen supporting one another at games, sharing candid moments online, and speaking openly about what their bond meant. For Bird, publicly discussing her relationship with Rapinoe was a milestone. When she first spoke about their romance, she explained that she never felt she was hiding who she was. Instead, she simply wanted to live authentically without turning her private life into a outline. That honesty resonated with fans. Many saw the couple as proof that love could exist openly at the highest level of professional sports. An engagement that made headlines. In 2020, the pair announced their engagement in a quiet but unforgettable way. A single photo shared online showed Rapinoe kneeling and placing a ring on Bird's finger. No lengthy caption was needed. The image itself spoke volumes. Their engagement instantly became one of the most talked-about moments in sports culture that year. Supporters celebrated the news, with many believing the two would eventually become one of sports' most iconic married couples. For years after, questions about wedding plans followed them everywhere. The couple occasionally joked about possible destinations and what kind of ceremony they wanted, but they also made it clear that they were in no rush. Their careers, business ventures, and public commitments often kept them moving. A relationship built on understanding. One reason their partnership seemed so strong was the deep understanding they shared. Both women knew what it meant to compete at the highest level. Both understood pressure, media attention, and the emotional demands of elite sports. Rapinoe once described Bird as someone who understood their world in a way few people could. Bird had the same. Their shared experiences gave them a foundation many relationships never have. They were more than romantic partners. They were friends, supporters, and teammates in life. Fans often noticed how naturally they seemed to fit together. Whether attending award shows, cheering from the sidelines, or discussing women's sports, their chemistry felt effortless. Building a life beyond sports. As their athletic careers began winding down, Bird and Rapinoe started building a life outside competition. They became business partners, advocates, and media voices in the growing conversation around women's sports. One of their biggest projects was their podcast, where they discussed sports, culture, equality, and personal experiences. The show gave listeners a deeper look into their personalities and their connection. Their conversations felt authentic. Instead of polished celebrity interviews, audiences heard two people who genuinely enjoyed talking to each other. That made their dynamic even more relatable. For many listeners, their podcast became another reason to admire them. The announcement that shocked fans. When news of their separation became public, many fans were stunned. Because the relationship appeared stable from the outside, few expected such a major change. In their statement, both emphasized that the decision was mutual. They shared that ending the relationship was not easy, but it came from a place of love and respect. They explained that the life they built together would always remain meaningful. The memories, experiences, and years they shared could not simply disappear. Rather than speaking negatively about one another, both athletes made it clear that there was still care between them. That tone stood out. Celebrity breakups often become messy public spectacles. Their message was different. It reflected maturity and appreciation instead of bitterness. Ending their podcast together. Along with confirming their split, the former couple also revealed they would no longer continue their podcast as a team. For fans who had followed their conversations, that news felt especially emotional. The show would become a space where their chemistry was visible. It allowed people to see how they communicated and supported each other. Ending that chapter signaled that the breakup was not just personal. It also marked the closing of a professional partnership. Still, many supporters praised the way they handled the transition. A powerful public partnership. Rapinoe and Bird represented symbols of visibility in sports. They showed younger athletes that they could live openly and still succeed at the highest level. Their presence helped shift cultural conversations around LGBTQ+ representation in professional athletics. Both women used their platforms to advocate for equality, fairness, and inclusion. They spoke about pay equity in women's sports, social justice, and the need for greater opportunities for female athletes. Because of that, their relationship carried significance beyond their personal lives. To many people, they were not just a couple. They were a movement.
support from fans around the world. After the announcement, messages of support poured in from fans, athletes, and public figures. Many people thanked them for the example they had set. Others expressed sadness while wishing both women peace as they move forward separately. Some longtime supporters noted that even though the relationship ended, what they represented would continue to matter. Their influence on sports culture cannot be erased by a breakup. Megan Rapinoe's legacy. Rapinoe remains one of the most recognizable athletes of her generation. Known for her leadership on the field and activism off it, she became a defining figure in women's soccer. Her career with the U.S. women's national team included World Cup victories, Olympic appearances, and countless moments that helped elevate the sport globally. Off the field, she became known for speaking boldly about equality and justice. Her relationship with Bird became one part of that larger story. Sue Bird, lasting impact. Bird's basketball career made her one of the greatest players in women's basketball history. Her years with the Seattle Storm cemented her as a legend, and her leadership made her a respected voice in sports. She became known not only for winning championships, but also for helping expand the visibility of women's basketball. Her partnership with Rapinoe reflected the same authenticity she brought to the court. Moving forward separately. While the relationship has ended, both women now enter a new chapter. Because they spent nearly a decade building a life together, their transition will likely take time. Even when breakups happen with mutual respect, they can still be painful. Neither has shared extensive details about what comes next, and both appear focused on handling the change privately. That choice has also been respected by many fans. Instead of demanding explanations, supporters have largely honored the nice with which the announcement was made. Why their story still matters. Even though their romantic relationship has ended, the story of Rapinoe and Bird still matters. They changed how people saw same-sex relationships in sports. They showed that elite athletes could be open. They proved vulnerability could exist alongside strength. They inspired countless people to live honestly. Those things do not disappear when a relationship ends. Sometimes a relationship can end, all the impact remains. That seems to be the case here. A respectful ending. Perhaps the most striking part of their separation is the way they chose to share it. There was no scandal, no public accusations, no bitterness, only honesty. That alone says something meaningful about what they shared. Even as they move forward separately, both appear committed to preserving the dignity of what they once had. And for many fans, that may be the most powerful part of their story.